Every video game series has that one game that people would like you to forget about. Sonic the Hedgehog has Sonic 06. Mario Brothers has Hotel Mario. Legend of Zelda, well, God forbid, if you don't know what those games are, then you've been living under a rock. But anyway, SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 is that black sheep in the SmackDown vs. Raw series where I can blatantly say it is a bad game. Where do I even begin? The gameplay? The lack of colors that really makes the graphics a chore to look at? Or the completely ruined season mode? The choices are endless. I guess we'll start with the most broken of those things, the gameplay. Now, they really changed up the controls again, but this time I didn't really feel like they were necessary. The controls from SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 worked perfectly. Why bother changing them up again? But besides changing the controls, they now introduced the superstar fighting styles. Yeah, he can fight dirty, high-flying, hardcore, technical, powerhouse, brawler, and submission something. Yeah, those totally memorable fighting styles that do not work. They are broken beyond belief. Each of the fighting styles have their own little thing that really make them unbalanced, but the two worst fighting styles are Powerhouse, Brawler, and you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna add a third one, Technical. Basically, what these three fighting styles do, they each have special requirements where you can actually gain invincibility, which doesn't really work in a game like this, where you can gain momentum so quickly, so then you can spam these invincibility states. That does not work! What makes it even worse is that some of the fighting styles actually have special actions you can do to gain momentum more quickly. So, combine, say like Powerhouse with Showman, you'd be able to gain momentum pretty damn quickly, and thus, spam away invincibility! Yay, online balance! Something that really bugs me is the graphics. Now, the character models, those are okay, but the colors, oh my god, what the hell happened to the colors? Everything is so grayed out, bleak, and makes the game feel boring while you're playing it. It doesn't make you feel as you're part of the WWE action, and plus, I don't remember any of the arenas being this dark and gray while watching WWE at that time. The commentary, it's ass. It just feels like ass. Oh man, and I forgot to bring up in the 2007 video that the commentary actually glitches, where I will just show you this, and that will pretty much explain what I need to tell you about the commentary in 2007.
Bam! Scissors kick! Out cold.
He's got this crowd solidly behind him, and now he's going to give them exactly what they want to see.
You can't just keep playing to the crowd. That's a huge distraction, in my opinion. Instead of pandering to the fans, you should really keep your head in the back. That's some impressive trash talking right there.
Now, back to the game in question. Now you can fight in the crowd in any of these match types, especially since this is the 360 version, but it's the same as 2007. There's really no big changes to it. Everything just looks prettier. Now, if there's one positive I can definitely give for the match types, that's the inclusion of the ECW Extreme Rules match, where I love using the weapons, so being able to use them in fun and creative ways actually speaks a lot. There is one big glaring problem with this, and it's a big one. In order to fully use all of the capabilities of the Extreme Rules match, you'd have to play as a superstar with one of the hardcore fighting styles. So that pretty much eliminates about 3/4 of the game's roster. You can still use the other wrestlers that don't have the hardcore fighting style in the match, but you can't do any of the special moves with any of the weapons. So, I don't really get what's the point of the hardcore fighting style if that's going to limit the amount of wrestlers you can use and fully enjoy the match. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, because the game forgot itself when advertising this. There's actually a tournament mode where you can actually have specific types of tournaments. King of the Ring, Money in the Bank qualifying, and Beat the Clock challenges. Now, you think that'd be something they'd put up front, like, yeah, you can do this now. But it pretty much feels lackluster. There's really no strength to it at all. You don't even get rewarded for completing this, except for King of the Ring, which you get a nice little cutscene of the superstar you used to win, getting crowned, and you then randomly pick one of the divas to be your queen. But of course there's no Sharmell, so you can't recreate King Booker and Queen Sharmell. Oh, hail King Booker! Finally, we get to the worst part of this game. Yeah, the gameplay, it's not that good, but you can still enjoy some of it sometimes. But WWE 24/7 mode has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. This is a horribly executed mode. It had horrible ideas, so I really can't stand this mode. Now, in WWE 24/7 mode, they combined Season mode and General Manager mode and put them both together. So when you start up, you can choose whether to be a superstar or be one of the General Managers, Jonathan Coachman, Theodore Long, or Tommy Dreamer. But here's the thing. General Manager mode is still the same, but what is the point of picking ECW? Because you have no resources for ECW. You have no superstars, no money, no pay-per-views, so it's pretty much master difficulty for General Manager mode. But let me tell you, master difficulty General Manager mode sounds a lot more appealing to me than going through Season mode as any of the superstars, because it is just not worth the effort. The only reason why you even play this mode is so that way you can gain money and unlock extra superstars. That's it. There is no redeeming qualities other than that. Purchasing unlockables. Alright, I'm sorry, I'll calm down, but it's really infuriating to think that this came from SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. That's what we were building up to. This mode, which is easily the worst out of all of them, as I just said. Because none of the storylines have any meat to them. You're just basically doing matches with little cutscenes thrown in from time to time, and before and after each match, you always get the same repetitive animations of your superstar lifting weights, or giving high fives to the other superstars backstage, including superstars that you're actually in a rivalry with. That would be the equivalent of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock giving high fives, jumping together, cheering during the Attitude Era. Can you imagine how the fans would have reacted if they saw that?
Great continuity!
And the system they have in place, you're going through one full calendar year of WWE programming, which is definitely way longer than the previous season modes. But that also means you're going through every single day, which means that you gotta find ways to fill in your time, right? Well, if you're using a creative superstar, you can use those days to build up your stats! Yay! Even though the stats are jack shit and they barely build up no matter how much you do. And you can also do things to boost your popularity and gain money. Woo! But these things are more for General Manager mode, to help increase the popularity of your superstars, to help increase the ratings for your shows. There is no purpose for doing this besides the bullshit Hall of Fame progress, which you do all these specific little goals in order to get into the Hall of Fame. Woohoo! You know, just thinking about it, I can think of the two worst storylines off the top of my head in this, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to guess what those are, because you probably don't care. But believe me, they are horrible. So, one of them is that it's the typical, oh, three brands fight together, but one of them will be the true brand. Yeah! Where ECW, out of nowhere, allies against you. Where, I guess there was this one point in the story where, you know, you could choose to team up with ECW, but then you ended up doing something off screen that pissed them off, so you had ECW against you now. And Vince McMahon is sucking ECW's cock like, oh yeah, I love ECW now. Oh. And speaking of good old Vince McMahon, the storyline that leads up to WrestleMania pretty much has him pissed off at you for pretty much everything you've done to him. And after WrestleMania, you want to guess what happens? Nothing! Nothing happens after WrestleMania. Everything goes back to all hunky-dory, like Mr. McMahon suffered brain trauma and he forgot everything that happened. Okay, I gotta end this now before I end up losing it. In conclusion, what the hell do you think I expect to tell you now about this game? Do not play this game. Even if you're curious, do not play it. It is not worth your time. You will thank yourself later for it. This is RandoChris saying, God damn, I hate this game.
Can you dig it, sucker?